Alright, so I'm slightly behind on today's video only because I had spent time with my family over the weekend. So let's start today's weekly review. If you're not familiar, I dropped out of my PhD because it was too focused on academia, not enough on the entrepreneurial ambitions that fuel me, that I've wanted to do since high school. And because I only have I think it's a year's worth of runway, let's say, because of student loans, 86,000 in student loans, maybe 90,000, quite a bit. So I need to start making money, and my first goal is passive income, so then I can support paying the loans, whatever else I need, and focus more so on an actual startup that I can, I don't know, IPO. I keep saying IPO, but I don't know if I want it to be a public company. But that's the whole vision. And so I basically approach my life in week to week feedback cycles. Every week I see what I've done over the week, what I can slightly adjust, and what has been going good. And in addition to that, I approach everything in my life in the 7 areas of wellness framework. So if you look at the framework, we're looking at like occupational wellness. So that's anything that encompasses your occupation or finances or career. There's physical wellness, which is your physical bodily health, mental or emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, environmental wellness, social wellness. Yeah, I think those are all 7. And yeah, so those are all 7 areas. I don't have a project or an effort in each area, but I do have projects in 3 of those areas. And the first 2 projects are in, I guess you could say, occupational or career or financial wellness. And that's March to Startup, which is basically what I just explained. I'm trying to get passive income so then I can focus on a startup, build that startup to $1 billion company if possible. If not, multi-million dollars. We'll see what I can make of it. And that project I broke down into, I guess, 3 phases. The first is, how do you take an idea and develop a prototype using Figma? Right now I'm focused on SaaS because it has the lowest barrier to entry. You can just code something and push it out. Given there is a lot of competition, but there's always going to be competition, so I figured, why not? So that's the first phase. So next phase is actually developing whatever you prototyped. So that's iOS app development, Android app development. First, going to focus on iOS. Marketing and sales is the last phase, and then there's lots of other things that go on in that project. But basically, this project is on the back burner for now because I'm focused on ideation and prototyping, which is its own project. And yeah, so this is on the back burner, but I am following all the steps to it. And ideation prototyping, I basically labeled as Innovator's Blueprint. And for me, it's basically, I'm trying to come up with like a template or a blueprint where I can take like an idea, develop a prototype, and just repeat it, because I want to be a serial entrepreneur, and I also want to be, later on in life when I have money, an investor, help people. And you can only really help people if you're not like a one-off, if you really understand the process. And so for me, that's why an innovator's blueprint is very important. And here basically there's 7 steps to it, or 9 steps to it. Starts with UI, with learning Figma. Here the next step that I'm on is actually sorting out my ideas. And I started sorting it out last week, I think on Wednesday, when I decided to pivot on my timeline, which I think I made a video about. And so I started going over my ideas. There's over 2,000 lines of text. If you can see here, my notes go by lines of text. And so there's over 2,000 lines of text, different ideas, YouTube videos, articles. I still have about 100 lines of text. And when I say 100 lines of text, these last ones are like YouTube videos, articles, so they're kind of time consuming to process. So we'll see how long this takes me. I want to try to finish it in 2 days or so, but we'll see how long it actually takes me. And my plan was to try to finish this Wednesday. Go through all these notes I had, write down all my ideas, and then rank them. Get the top 5, prototype them in Figma, and that'd be like my version 0, which I would then improve as I learned UX UI design. But now it's going to take a week more than I thought, probably, so we'll see. That's Innovator's Blueprint. The next area of wellness that I have my projects in is physical wellness. And here it starts with March to Optimal Health, essentially trying to improve all the pillars of health. We're looking at fitness, sleep, nutrition, and mental health. And this project really comes about from having high blood pressure and neglecting my health for the past at least 7 years, more likely close to 9. And yeah, so starting with nutrition, I have meal prepped 3 meals per day, the exact same 3 meals, which sucks, but for now it's just about building discipline. And and so these 3 meals aim to meet all my targets, from macronutrients to vitamins and minerals, antioxidants. Almost everything is near 100% in my meal planner. And the only issue is like actually following through. And so the past week, I've been trying to do this for the past since May, I think, mid-May. So 2 months, which isn't that bad now that I think about it, but I've been trying to eat these meals every single day for the past 2 months. It's just difficult. There's so much food to consume that at first I was having issues just even going through it all. And now this past week, I was able to eat my oatmeal 5 days of the week, eat my salad meal 5 days of the week. The only thing I'm not eating is my lentils. The lentils have a lot of protein, potassium, and I add a lot of sodium to meet my targets, and so I think those are the big 3 that I'm missing. But other than that, I don't think I'm missing a lot more nutrition from my lentils. So in general, I just need to follow my meals more closely and then get my blood tested, maybe let's say 2 or 3 months from now, see if it's actually addressing my mind just blanked. If it's actually, meeting the targets that I want it to meet, or if I threw things completely off balance, or what's going on. Like, I need some insight into if these meals are doing anything or not. And the one thing I guess that they are doing is this, in addition to exercise. I've been losing weight, I think, over the past, at least since January for sure. I've lost over 20 pounds, and it's just steadily going down. I want to reach 15% before I consider even bulking up. I might not even bulk up anytime soon, since I'm training for my half marathon. So once I get through my half marathon, then I get through a marathon, I probably won't consider bulking up until after that. So that's at least a year probably. So that's nutrition. Overall nutrition is going pretty well. It's just taking a lot of time to build these healthy habits. Yeah, but I mean, I think the thing that I'm not mentioning too is maybe there's an assumption that outside of these foods, I might just be completely binging junk food. I don't have a car. Can't go to Taco Bell, can't go to McDonald's. I don't even have the kind of money to spend on that. So outside of these meals, there's not much other food that's like super processed that I'm eating. So there's that, I guess, also to consider, which is pretty good in general when you think about it. Now for sleep has been, I think, one of the key things that I've also been neglecting over the past 7 years. Just kind of slept whenever work was finished, or my body was just telling me, yo, it's time to go to sleep. Woke up whenever I needed to, either if there was something on the day, I'd set an alarm. Otherwise, wake up when when I needed to. But in general, I think my sleep score must have been in the 60s, 70s over the past 7 years. Didn't have a watch until last year, so I can't confirm that. But just seeing my sleep habits over the past year, when I have been focusing on it a little bit more, it's still been in the 60s and 70s. So, yeah. Last week, I noticed that my deep sleep, REM sleep, weren't that good. So I did some research into like how you can improve those areas. And a lot of people tend to supplement like vitamin B1, magnesium, and glycine. So I tried that last week, and I noticed a decent increase in my sleep score. And I think just making sure I fall asleep at the same time, waking up at the same time, I'm going to see it steadily increase. So that's been a good thing to see over the past week. And exercise is part of half marathon training, and this is part of my healing project, which I'll get into shortly. Now, the last thing about March to Optimal Health, and actually this should probably be, my mind's like talking faster than my mouth can go. I've been wanting to reduce my screen time, and this should probably be part of healing and mental health. Not like spending too much time on your phone and comparing or whatever. Issues come from being on your phone. So when I started, I think my screen time was around 3.5 hours a day. Now it's about 2.5. I think it typically happens like in the morning. When I wake up, maybe 30 minutes, I go on my phone. Throughout the day, maybe another 30 minutes, and then at night, when I'm just kind of don't have anything to do, just laying in bed waiting to fall asleep, I think that's when I spend like another hour on my phone. So I want to try to get down to an hour, maybe 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, see if there's anything that needs my attention. But other than that, I don't think I really need to be on my phone that much. And once I do get this down, I think the next thing I'm going to focus on is the time I spend on my computer. Where am I actually spending that time? Because I know during the day sometimes I go like on YouTube for a break, but I wonder if those minutes add up to hours. So we'll see where that goes. Takeaways, nutrition this is actually from last week, and I just kind of kept it. It's not the best. I still think it can get better. And I'm being nitpicky here. It's pretty good in comparison to what it was, let's say like 4 or 5 months ago, but it's still not the best. It's not where I want it to be. So always just striving to do better. And I do want to research if I am trying to eat too much food, if I'm overworking my metabolism or my body, and over time it's just gonna degrade my body or something like that. So we'll see. Yeah, I need to research longevity a little bit more. Sleep is getting better, so just continuing to do what I do. And here's just the same thing as last week, trying to reduce the time on my phone. And I don't have any social media apps, so all this time that you see is from me being on Safari, probably YouTube or Reddit. Yeah. I'm interested in calisthenics, weightlifting, and trying to reduce my blood pressure a little bit more. But so far those things have been on the back burner. They might come a little bit to the forefront, which you'll see why when I get into half marathon training. And so looking at half marathon training now, this is the way that I bring about my fitness. I have a goal of trying to run a half marathon at it was either 7-minute or 7-minute 30-second pace. And for now, I've been following the Garmin watch program. If you don't have a Garmin watch, it's essentially like kind of like a Fitbit, Apple Watch, except it's free. There's no subscription for any of the things on the phone. It has GPS, which is, I don't even know why I'm mentioning all this stuff. But anyways, it has like a free Garmin coach program that I've been following. And through this program, one of the exercises is a progression run, where I first run, I think it's like 20 minutes at a decent pace, and then 10 minutes at a 6-minute pace. And last week was at a 6-minute 7-second pace, or I got my PR. And the other thing that happened is I've been starting to develop knee pain. I tried to look it up, and it's something along the lines of like runner's knee, which really sucks because first, when I was running, hold on, my throat feels like I'm gonna catch a cold. But when was it? February. I started running, got shin splints. Shin splints completely took me out for at least 3 weeks, I think it was. Started to try to run again, and then I got runner's toe. Runner's toe took me out for like another 2 weeks, and then I had some other issues that came up, and then I couldn't start running again until like once I settled down from moving apartments. Couldn't run until May. So it was basically started in February, had many issues, had personal challenges, moving apartments, couldn't continue my run until May. Now I'm here. Started officially running like mid-June, so about a month I've been on this program. Now I have runner's knee. And yeah, just shit keeps coming up. So I might take a week or two off to try to, well, first I need to research, see what kind of exercises I can do, and try to strengthen my leg muscles, get a little bit more flexibility, and address any other imbalances that might be happening. So it happens, but I'm in it for the long run. So it's like a week or two of issues. Even if it ends up being like a month, at least I know how to deal with it moving forward. Had shin splints. Now I've been able to manage it this time around. It's still sort of like, how do you say, like if I stop doing these exercises that I come up with, I know for sure I'd get shin splints again. But because I know how to manage it, they haven't been an issue. And so I know once I figure this out, then they're going to go away. And so it's just, I guess, a path of learning, seeing what comes up and then being able to address it. So that's half marathon training. And then the last one, healing. And this is really trying to get at the core, I think, of what's driving the high blood pressure that I've had over the past year officially, but probably more like 7 years. And just trying to heal any other insecurities, traumas, baggage that I've been carrying. And for this in particular, the activities that I'm doing or should be doing are meditation, reading this book that talks about healing. It's called Lighter, and reading Nonviolent Communication. And so these are the 3 core activities. Last week I didn't really have any time since I wanted to go all out on sorting through my idea notes, but I think that might have been a mistake. I thought that if I kind of just sacrificed my whole week, spend the whole time just going through my idea notes, I'd be able to go through them a lot quicker and get to the point of working on my on Innovator's Blueprint, trying to progress a lot faster. But it's taking a lot more time than I expected, and then I'm also neglecting, I guess, the healing things that I've been doing. And so it all ended up with me just feeling a little bit more ungrounded than before, and not feeling like I progressed too much. And now looking back, I sort of realize maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm just neglecting the areas that are important. So this week is just trying to get back into those habits that I've been developing before. So that's my week. Let me know if you have if you're curious about anything, or there's any questions, or yeah.